To Epic the game right now. This is March in the year 2020, and right now Epic the app is free. So that's is to get a good number of players on board and everything else. Most of what it costs, I will bring it up. If you're hitting play online, provided it actually boots up, you go up here to store. You'll see that there are two economies. You have gems, you have gold. Gold is used to buy most of your, basically your bling. You know, you can get different backgrounds, stuff like that. The gems are for entry into arena, and the gems actually convert into gold. All that aside, you don't really need to know any of that to actually enjoy the game. So let's talk about what the game actually is. You can see I have a great record right there. Let's go play versus AI. We're not going to do constructed. We're going to do limited. There is a beginner here, which are just, to get you used to the way each faction kind of plays. I'm going to actually bring up random 30s. It's a great way to dive right in. And we'll be talking about that in some of our early episodes. You can see right here, we have cards that cost 0. You see my bottom right. I'll try to highlight right there, that second wind. That costs 0. And these other things have a 1 gold cost. There are only 2 prices. There is something that costs a gold, and there's something that's free. I look at this hand, and you know what? This is acceptable for what we're probably going to do. So I'm going to hit done. I'm not going to mulligan any cards. It's my turn to start. Drag this out right here. Boom, tokens are generated. The little Z's right there show that they can't attack this turn. They don't have blitz. I pass it over to the opponent, and we start. This is a game where I'm trying to drop their life total 30. They're trying to drop mine to 30. And we're just going back and forth between playing champions, and we should see some of the timing differences. You'll notice off to the right, underneath where it says turn, main phase, etc. On an opponent's turn, you can't do anything until they attack. There is no, and then they just pass, so there's no attack coming from them. So right now, I'm going to take my, so do I want to take my turn? Yeah, I do. Let's start my turn. Yes. So if you noticed in the top right-hand corner, the one big scary looking dude with the 9s, there were some icons on there. This game does kind of put icons down for something that's breakthrough, something that is untargetable, something that is unbreakable, those sorts of things, unbashable. So now it's back here to my turn. What do I want to do? I want to attack. So I'm going to drag up a couple of guys. You can actually drag up one and just attack with one. You can attack with multiple. I'm going to try and trap them some. So I'm going to attack here, see what sort of block they're going to do. Remove all of your attack. Oh, so they're just drawing 2 cards. That wasn't a great play. Okay, they're putting out a Muse. This is... The AI sometimes does a few questionable things, we'll see. Now, you can see here that the AI can actually have all, in a group blocked by 1, and that's what they're doing, and that's perfectly fine. So I will accept that, because you'll see my den mother, I'll bring her up. So see how it was an 8-8? It went to a 17-17 because 3 wolves died, so it's got +9/+9. And it has breakthrough, which allows me to do extra damage past past the defense of those that are involved. It also allows me to get some combat tricks in here. So let's see what we got going on. So this 4-2, I'm going to deal 15 to them if they have no other tricks. So we will see if they allow that to happen. I'm going to hit assign damage. Apparently they're just going to take 15 damage. I don't know if that was exactly the right play, but it worked out. So, that happened. Now, they're 9-9 up there. I really don't like that one being alive. I also don't like the Muse being alive. So I'm actually going to use my 1 gold. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, loyalty 2. It says if I can reveal 2 cards that share the faction, they even highlight them for me, which I'm going to do. This guy's gaining blitz. I'm going to use his ability to put the Muse away. Now, you might say, why not the big threatening one? Well, that Muse allows him to draw some extra cards. So with this game, you're going to be talking about card economy. Is he going to shoot my High King? He is. All right. They're going to be talking about card economy and such. They use their gold. I'm going to use my gold. I'm going to shoot that guy because that guy's a royal pain in the tail. There we go. So I do not have anyone to block. You notice I have to keep, so it's here, declare blockers. I don't have any blockers. I hit pass. Pass to block events. No block events. Now we deal damage. Now they're coming in again. So I have 2 cards in my discard. In a random 30, you don't actually know the cards in your deck. So that's kind of an interesting way to be forced to play with some cards. I'm going to use this. It allows me to recycle, which is to put 2 cards from my discard onto the bottom of my library to draw a card. Many of these free spells have that on there, just as a way of getting these things in. Ooh, Psionic Assault, one of my favorite cards. So I'm down to 21, they're at 18. So, kind of it's an okay enough trade. Now, I want to get somewhere in all of this. I can play this Succubus. I don't have the loyalty to give it Blitz, but it does replace itself. That's not bad. The problem with this, obviously, is they have more creatures than me, so they can swing back more. Right now, I think I might just sit, and I'm going to probably play the Psionic Assault to try and get 2 cards out of their hand. I select the player, which is almost always them. I go to end my turn. They still have their 1 gold. They can put in anything, an ambush or anything. Nope, they just decide to discard. All right, are they going to? Nope, they are not. So they're showing me all of this. They've spent their gold. Now, am I going to take 9? That's a good question. I don't have anything in the discard for that. I think I actually want to draw 2 because that's going to allow the recall in this. So let me show you real quick. Recall, you see that little symbol there? That says if I play a 1 gold Sage, which this card is, I get to bring this back from my discard to my hand. That's very powerful because what I did, I used my 1 gold Deadly Raid, and I used the option to draw 2. Because in this game, almost all events have a secondary mode to allow you to usually get cards back in your hand. So they're attacking with a 9/9. I have nothing that's free. I'm probably just going to take down the chin because I don't feel like losing my 8/8 just yet. That will probably change. I drew. Those are some good things. Huh, those are a lot of good things. I don't have loyalty on anything. I really wish I had loyalty on something. Going to put down this Kong. I'm actually going to shoot this Lycomancer. I'll hold it up for a sec. The reason is its ability to basically turn my guys into wolves. It can slowly shotgun down my guys, so I'd rather that one be off the table. And then my 13/14 is going to sit there kind of being threatening. They have 2 cards in hand. They have not spent their gold. I'm going to pass. So they're playing this guy unbanishable. There are some things that get rid of things with banish. And so that one can't be done. It can still be broken. It can still be returned to hand. They're only attacking for 1. I don't see a huge threat in there. I do have an ambusher that might come in handy. There's a couple of choices. I think, if anything, I am going to ambush. So ambush allowed me to play in the window. Now I can go to block events. I'm actually going to just take the 1 because they have spent their gold, so they don't have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. And notice they just passed the turn right over, no problem. So for me, I do have a steel golem. So I'm going to see they have these 1/1s. They have an 8/7. We're not in the greatest of positions, but I could actually probably put their lights out if I use Battle Cry to give my team a big boost. So now I'm kind of undecided for how I want to do things. Let's see. So in this game, as you can see, we're just sending champions at each other. We're trying to jockey for position. The random 30s are very good in that no one ever has a really good handle on what's in the other person's hand, what's in the other person's deck. You just have to try to make the best call you can, and if you don't, you don't. Oh well. So I can try and gamble right now and try to blow them out, which I think I might want to do. So I go with this Battle Cry right now because I could put down a 13/13 with, I'll bring that up. Come on. There we go. So I could put down a 13/13 that could attack right now. That's what Blitz means, and it could be untargetable. I have the ability to give my team Breakthrough, which allows them to punch through these little weenie tokens. For each card I reveal, well, I only have one other card in hand, so I mean I can remove one of their guys, and he has Blitz, but those tokens are just going to be stopping most of my team. I really want to play that to get cards out of their hand. Um, the actually, you know what? Let me just actually if I get the cards out of their hand, they're not really. I mean, if they drew any sort of ability to punch through, they could take me out. But I can also gamble and try to take them out. I think I'll gamble. So my team just got all that. I'm going to attack here with an 11-11 with breakthrough. Are they going to block? Okay, so they're going to deal 1 damage to all of my team. Okay. Didn't feel good, but, it happens. Then they draw, but they had to spend their gold to do it. So I trampled through. So they're down to 10. Now they're going to have to put in some serious blocks to absorb 16 points. See, this is what I'm talking about. They're putting in a ton. Boom, team's gone. Now, herein lies my problem. I have nobody with ambush, and that 9-9 and 1-1 can put my lights out. I actually can't finish them off this turn. So I will pass to the opponent. My guy shrunk back down. And blitz. Yeah, I lose. There's no way for me to win. So you'll watch this. Declare blocks. I'm not going to block. Okay, they come in. I have to block. Obviously, I'm at 1. Do I have any tricks up my sleeve? Well, actually, I have one. I do have 1 chance. So I'm going to hit draw 2. If I draw any zeros, that could answer this, and I do not. So then I die. So as you can see, this game is really about jockeying for position, trying to see what you do with your gold versus what they're doing with their gold. And sometimes you do make a gamble. Now, this is not the constructed format. This is the one where you're playing with, as it's called, random 30s. I look at this hand, and I'll bring up this card. This is one of my absolute favorite cards whatsoever in Limited, because it has recall for 1 gold, and that colon means I pay my 1 gold, and that comes from my discard into my hand. Absolutely awesome. But of course, I have to have priority for that. So, example, if I use this, hit my opponent with it, pass the turnover, I don't get a chance to bring that back until they attack. So if they have a way of removing it from my discard before it's my turn, then I'm going to, run that out. So let's do one more game versus the computer. As you can see, it doesn't make perfect decisions, but it did enough to put me on my heels. I have a 0, right? I have that demon right there that costs 0. I have an unbreakable ambusher. I have an untargetable. This is actually a very good hand. I have 3 champions I like playing with. So he puts down an 11-9 that doesn't do anything on its own. Put down that. That's pretty good. Now, it's the end of my turn, end of their turn rather. I can start playing some tactics. So what I might want to do is really set them back. So I'm going to put down Master Zoe. Pass the turn. So now it's the start of my turn. He says that when he attacks or blocks, he gains unbreakable. Okay, well, let's go do that. I haven't spent my gold yet. He's now unbreakable. See a little shield icon that just came on him. Ceasefire. Champions can't attack after this and then draw 2 cards. That was a little dirty. I'll give him that much. They have spent their gold, though. And that ceasefire does not keep me from attacking with who I'm attacking with. So they just kind of paused, and that was it. Now, in order to keep them from getting really anywhere, I have this erase that I might use. I have a Sea Titan I might use. The Sea Titan, actually, I probably will use, because he's untargetable. So I'm going to put this back in there. Now, why I wouldn't put back the 5/5 flyer? I'm putting a card that costs a gold back in their hand. So they have to spend their turn again and, playing that card. So they're not going to gain any traction. So I know I'm going to take 5 in the air. It's a free card. Okay. It doesn't really cost them much for that thing to come out. They're going to gain control because of Master Zoe. So it's the end of their turn. I'll use this. I'm going to put 5 on the dragon. The reason I did not do that before is because they had not spent their gold. And you will see sometimes if your life total it can take the hit, because this was still early, you want to see what they're going to do with that gold, because they might have done something completely differently with their gold had I, just shot their guy. Break target champion. Player whose turns returns a champion from their pile to their hand. I don't have one in there. I can spend my 1 gold to bring back that. I have 3 zombies that have blitz, so they can come running right in. I'll probably use them to block Master Zoe. I'm going to attack with my 11-14 untargetable because they're going to have a good answer. Well, they're going to deal 7 damage to a champion. See that? Unfortunately, that was the AI playing dumb. I have an untargetable. They played the spell, and if you play something, you're locked in. So it had to go to something, and it went there. And I don't have any creature that could be targeted, so they had to deal it to their own guy. I don't know what else to say. I like again, not they're not always the greatest plays, but for example, watch this. So I'm gonna play him. It lets me take something out of their yard. I want to make sure that they can't get that back. On the off chance that they can, I'm gonna attack. I get to remove another one. I'll get rid of their dragon. They're gonna take 3 because they already spent their gold. Now I'm gonna play this. Gets me 3 guys with blitz. I'm going to attack with all 3, and whether they hit or they die, I'm going to deal the damage. Boom. Game's over. That quick. That was what, like turn 2? You just need to get used to the game. There's a lot of ways to play. You have Dark Draft, you have random 30s, then you have Constructed where you pick your deck. The AI deck I'll show you, you have to pick, you actually have to generate the decks yourself. But the deck generator, for example, super easy. I'd have to delete a deck. I will eventually. But the deck generator, deck builder right here, bring this one up. You can see that, it has access to all the cards on this side. You can sort between whether you just want to look at the good cards. They put the ones that cost the gold before the zeros. You even have the option to cycle between just events. You have the ability to cycle between ones that cost the gold only, ones that are only free. So you really can sort through all this. I mean, there is so much, and it's a 60 card limit. The deck construction rules are I'll show you, for example. So for every 2 ancient chants that I have, I'm allowed 1 0 cost spell. So you see up here in the top right, the number in gold is the number of gold cards, and the number in white is the number of free cards. The number of free cards cannot exceed half of their same faction. So you notice I'll have 4 of the wild cards, those are the green ones. I can only have 2 of the free ones. Almost every deck you build, you want to use the maximum number of free cards because it allows you to do things well for free, but also play an extra spell a turn, an extra creature a turn. So that's, just a free bit of advice, and it also applies to other formats. So anyway, I will leave it at that. I hope you guys look at some of our other material, and I'll leave it at that.